So now moving ahead, we have impact of waste accumulation. Up till now, we had studied how waste is being generated from various sources. Now we have come to know that when waste is being generated from various sources, it keeps getting accumulated into the environment. Why? Because we are not throwing it away or discarding it in the proper manner or in the right way. So it is getting accumulated in the environment. So what is the impact? What is the result of this waste accumulation that we are going to study? The accumulation of waste has various impacts on human beings and the ecosystem as a whole. So accumulation over here means just the collecting the waste, it keeps on being dumped and collecting in the environment. So it has got various impact or effect on the human beings as well as the ecosystem. Let us study them. Accumulated solid wastes, when left uncared, start decomposing. A number of disease producing bacteria, virus and fungi grow on them. These became the cause of various diseases to humans. So when a solid waste, it is thrown, for example, by the roads, you can find that people, they just keep throwing away all the waste. It may be food materials, it may be plastics and paper, whatever it is. So the garbage is piling up, and what starts to happen, that microorganisms, they develop and they start decomposing this waste, and it starts releasing all kinds of harmful gases and liquid while decomposing. That is why when you move by a dumping area, wherever the waste is being dumped, a very foul smell is coming, and you need to cover your nose when you pass that area. Why? Because not unpleasant gases or harmful gases are being released, because good bacteria or are not being generated over there, or the harmful and the disease causing microorganisms, that is the virus and fungi, they grow and start decomposing that waste. So when the waste is left unattended, uncared, or not treated in the right manner, then what happens, that such a condition arises where microorganisms, they tend to do their work on their own, in their own manner. All right, and it causes harmful bacteria or virus and fungi to grow, and it starts decomposing the garbage. They often emit foul smell due to rotting. Now all the vegetable peels or whatever food has been thrown away, it starts rotting, and it gives a very foul smell. They attract flies, insects, rodents, which become carrier of diseases. So now when food and all the various wastes are being thrown, obviously you can see flies and insects, they grow at such places, and they start feeding on that garbage. You have all the rodents, that is rats, and all, they keep coming to that place and they eat the garbage, and they uh, become the carrier of diseases. How they become the carrier of diseases? They eat over there, the flies, they sit on the rotten food, or maybe on the whatever diapers and all are being thrown of those small children. So they sit on all kinds of dirt, and then they fly and come back to our houses, and they sit on the food that we have prepared to eat, or they sit on our bodies. Similarly, the rats, they go over there and they eat the garbage, and then they, through the drains and all, they enter our houses, and they can infest our food with these microorganisms, these harmful bacteria, harmful viruses, and they are going to harm us in turn. Open dump also ruin the natural beauty and aesthetics of the land. Aesthetics refers to the beauty of a place. So the natural beauty or the pleasant thing that we get from the particular place, the beauty of that particular place is obviously being ruined by these open dumps. Obviously, when you see a place that where garbage is being dumped, the road is just, not worthy to be walked on or traveled on, the atmosphere is full of foul smell, you do not want to cross the place where garbage is being thrown. Nobody wants the garbage to be piled up nearby their house. Why? Because it is obviously creating nuisance for you. The toxic chemicals cause soil and water pollution, then they reach groundwater. Now, the toxic chemicals that are being released when this garbage is decomposed, it is, where does it go? The chemicals, they are being they are being released, and they enter the whatever nearby water body is present, or it seeps into the ground and reaches the underground water. So even if it is reaching the water body nearby, then it is polluting that water body, and if it seeps into the ground, it pollutes the underground water, because these chemicals that are being released, they are very toxic. They enter the food chain, cause disease and death of organisms. So obviously, when it's entering the water cycle, water is being absorbed by the plants, then it is consumed by the various organisms. So it is obviously affecting the life of all organisms, whether it is aquatic or terrestrial. So obviously, the impact or the effect of waste accumulation or leaving the waste unattended is, harming the environment. The effects are very, very harmful, both for the environment as well as for the organisms living in it, be it human beings or the animals. So it should be treated properly before it is discarded. So what are the various methods you can adopt? There should always be a solution. All right. So the problem is that waste is getting accumulated and it is creating such problems. All right. So now how to, what should be the solution of this problem? So they have given certain methods to dispose of waste properly. The first one is open dumping. In this method, the waste is collected from municipal bins and transported to disposal sites assigned by the municipal corporation. So what does the municipality do? It has placed large bins at various places. You must have seen certain bins are being placed by at the corner of the turnings and roads, and you are supposed to collect the garbage from your house and throw it in that dustbin. And every day in the morning, the vehicle comes and it takes the garbage present in those bins, and then it takes the garbage to disposal sites. Certain sites have been selected for dumping the waste, and these sites are not within the city. They are chosen or selected on the outskirts of the city, that is on the near the boundaries of the city, where population is very low, very, very low. All right, people do not live on the outskirts. Very few people are there, even if they are present. So such disposal sites are selected, and then municipal vehicles, they go and dump the waste over there. Generally, this site is a wasteland. All right, generally the disposal site that is selected, it is a wasteland and away from city dwellings. A land that is not fit for cultivation and where people are not living. The accumulated waste attracts insects and rodents, which may spread diseases. Now, obviously, when waste is being dumped in such large quantities, it always attracts insects and rodents towards it. It also gives out foul smell. The waste is ultimately burnt to dispose them of. So now, when too much waste accumulates, what do people do? They usually burn it. This is the least preferred method as it creates lot of ash and smoke. So obviously, when huge amount of waste is being burnt, so what is happening, that it is letting out a lot of smoke into the atmosphere, which causes air pollution. Therefore, this method is the least preferred method. That is when no other choice is there, or they have little resources to choose some other method, then this method is being chosen. All right, so this is the least preferred method. So you can underline the first two lines regarding Then what is this method, open dumping? And then you can underline the last line, that is, this is the least preferred method. Why? You can be asked that why is it the least preferred method? Because it creates a lot of ash and smoke. All right. Just then the other is sanitary landfill. Landfill, as the name suggests, is a method where the land is dug up, filled with waste and covered with soil again. So you can underline this. All right. What is a landfill? That is a large area selected. The land is dug up, a big hole is created, and then that hole is filled with waste. Like you have your, you must have seen underground building constructions. Lot of soil is being dug up and a hollow is created, and then buildings are made. So instead of building your apartment over there, they fill the waste in a similar manner. They fill it to the level of the earth, and then they cover it with that soil again. In a sanitary landfill, waste is tied in gunny bags and then buried. So when they are dumping the waste or filling the dug up hole with waste, the waste is first put in gunny bags, and then it is tied, and then it is buried. This method is preferred to open dumping because the waste is eventually composted under the ground. Because insects and rodents cannot reach the garbage, and because it is the whole process is being done under the earth, and it leads to composting, that is a healthier decomposition of the waste is being done under the soil. All right, the soil contains all the good bacteria, and it is composting the garbage, it is decomposing the garbage, and it is being converted into manure, and therefore this method is more preferred. This method is preferred to the previous method, that is open dumping. It does not require any burning to dispose it. So there is no foul smell, there are no carrier of diseases, there is no burning required, no air pollution, and therefore this is considered a better method than open dumping. But obviously you have to be more involved in this process. Why? Because first you have to dig up a hole, then you have to tie the garbage in gunny bags, and then you have to bury. So it requires a little bit of effort. Next method is composting. Composting is a disposal method employed to the organic wastes. Now usually the organic waste is treated by the method of composting. You can mark that. All right. You know what is organic waste. We have discussed it earlier. It is the decomposition of organic waste with the help of microorganisms. So what is composting? Composting, you can underline, composting is the decomposition of organic waste with the help of microorganisms. The waste is converted into useful material which can be used as bio manure. Composting with the help of earthworm is termed as vermicomposting. So the whatever garbage after it is decomposed, whatever is left over, that is very helpful for the soil. It makes the soil fertile, and therefore once the waste is composted, it is decomposed, then it is taken and used as biomanure. And when composting is done with the help of earthworms, when it is stimulated by the earthworms, then it is known as vermicomposting. You know that earthworms, they till the soil. All right, they are very helpful. All right, when they eat the soil and they excrete the soil that is excreted by them is very, very fertile. All right, so when they help, when their help is taken to do composting, to decompose the organic material, the biomanure that we get is furthermore useful, and then the composting is referred to as vermicomposting. So mark that what is vermicomposting? Composting with the help of earthworm. Then we have another method, incineration. All right, then incineration is the burning of waste at a very high temperature using high electronic voltage in closed chambers called incinerators. All right. So big chambers are there, and they are closed from all sides, and waste is being dumped in that, and then the waste is being burnt. It is burnt using high electric voltage. High electric voltage is imposed on the waste, and it starts burning at a very high temperature. So you can mark up till here, and you can define it as incineration. This method is suitable for non-degradable and hazardous waste from industries and biomedical waste. So the industrial waste that is very harmful or hazardous, or the biomedical waste that should not be let into the environment just like that. So these wastes are being treated in these incinerators. They are being burnt. So usually it is a non-biodegradable waste that is being burnt in this way. The disadvantage of this method is that it releases a lot of ash and harmful gases. So obviously it is because burning is involved, it is creating air pollution. It is causing air pollution, and obviously it is leaving behind a lot of ash that needs to be disposed of safely. All right. Then another method is segregation. Segregation means to separate according to some category or classification. That is, you are being told that categorize the waste in to say 3 or 4 categories, 3 or 4 forms, and then you can separate the waste according to those categories. Waste can be classified into biodegradable, non-biodegradable, hazardous, recyclable, reusable, etc., and can be segregated accordingly into different bins. That is, it is said that separate the waste. The biodegradable, keep it aside, take the non-biodegradable and keep it aside. And similarly, you can have various bins where you can throw different wastes. Then the advantage of segregating waste is that it reduces the load of waste disposal. When waste has to be disposed, so less effort is required if you segregate it at the beginning itself. And management by removing the biodegradable and recyclable waste. That non-biodegradable and hazardous waste can then be disposed appropriately. That is, if you take up the biodegradable waste in a different bin, so the municipality is going to collect it. Obviously this can be done at different levels. Either it can be done at the beginning, where you have to you are doing it at your homes, or maybe you are throwing it away but the municipality is doing at their level. All right. But these days you have heard the concept of gila kuda and sukha being thrown and in different bins, one being the green bin, one being the blue bin. All right. Now at various places also you can see that 2 bins are being placed, one for the wet waste and the other for the dry waste. So what is being done, that biodegradable waste that can be composted is being thrown in one dustbin, and the non-biodegradable part is being thrown in the other dustbin, and the municipality is collecting it in that way, and it is going to take the biodegradable and give it for composting. And in the non-biodegradable waste, again segregation is done. Now segregation for what? That the hazardous waste are being taken away separately. For example, you have the mobile batteries, the whatever such kinds of things that can be toxic, they are taken separately to be treated the way hazardous waste needs to be treated. Then they take out the paper, the plastic bottles, the cans, cold drink cans, all the glass materials, they are being taken and sent to the industries for recycling. The cold drink cans, for example, they are recycled. How? The tin is melted and then reshaped into new cans. All right. So the recycled ones can be sent in that way. The reusable waste can be sent and reused. All right. So the bio, and then whatever waste is left that needs to be treated is taken and treated in a particular way. That is, the correct method. It is treated in that manner.